welcome to Cooking with Miss O. Let's join Mary Beth Oxendine in the kitchen as she teaches you how to cook Southern style healthy.
Welcome to Cooking with Miss O, and I have a guest here. Actually, I'm her guest here. We're over in Georgia at Abby J's Blackhawk Fly Fishing Farm, right?
That's right, Mary Beth. Welcome.
And we're going to get to see where she picks her stuff for her salsa, and we're so excited about this. And we're going to pick something, aren't we, Abby?
We are absolutely going to pick a lot of different things today.
That's right, because Abby J is showing you what I did all those years with my children. I would take them with me. I had Marie in the stroller, and I'd go to all these farms and pick. Except this time, I'm actually with the farmer who has the stuff I'm going to pick. And Abby J, it is so much fun for kids to do this. Moms, you should do this. Plus, let me tell you something exciting that your husbands will love. I would put up, Abby J, all this stuff in my freezer to cook my food with all summer long. My kids would help me and everything, and Tom would help me with the cannon. And then, after Christmas, all the money after Christmas for food, I got to use for decorating because I didn't need to spend any money after Christmas.
It's great to have a lot of different projects. And, you know, the farm to table trend is a big movement, and it is the best you can get.
And she's right. Y'all, she was raised on a farm here in Georgia. But let me tell y'all, when they tell you farm to table, what we really mean is we need you to pick it fresh, come to a farm and pick it, grow it yourself, because when you have it that way, instead of it being shipped across the country and picked before it's done, then you don't have the nutrition that you do. Like when I pick this, let's pick this bell pepper, okay, Abby? When I pick this one right here that's ready, let me get this.
Kind of just break
That's
it off.
right.
There you go.
It's green. It's finished, everything. So we have all the nutrients in it that you would get with this, and it's the freshest this way. And that's how, just like with my grains, when you do your grains, it's beautiful. It's
in the restaurants that I've delivered to this summer, the Optimist and 246, they make the best dishes, better than other restaurants because they do buy local. It's not full of preservatives, and it's the best. And that's why I love farm to table, and I love to eat at these restaurants too.
And you see how good she looks? She's 100 years old, and look how good she looks. No, I'm just teasing. So anyway, we have fun here. Actually, my son got to come up here and do fly fishing with Abby.
Oh, he was great.
He had a blast.
Anybody can take up the sport. He had such a good time with R.C. Greer, and you know, R.C.'s he's a young college student that we try to bring along and teach them really what farm to table is, and the school in Spartanburg where the kids came over. I will be doing opening up a cooking school here to teach farm to table canning and cooking.
There's such a need for that now. People realize that we were healthier when we grew it and picked it ourselves instead of going and getting it. And what's wonderful about Ingles is Ingles carries locals as long as they have locals, and that's wonderful. Like they'll have it right on there, local peaches, local everything. And your salsa is in Ingles.
Right, and we're on the Georgia Grown program, so the salsa is in Ingles, and they have supported me, and I really appreciate the support. And if you can't find it, you just need to visit the website and look at other locations outside the Southeast, because we have so many fishermen that come to our place that are from California or up north, but we're trying to get it moved in other regions, and right now it's going great, and we're so glad to have you here today.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Now, I've been here. This is my third time, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I've got lost every time, haven't I, Abby?
Well,
I haven't had the GPS this time, y'all. It didn't work for me.
It's the 197, those curvy roads.
I know,
you get lost.
I was driving around in Clarksville, just driving around, and we found it. But it's beautiful out here. If you just want to bring your family and come out and just drive, these mountains are beautiful. The people are wonderful. Clarksville has some darling little shops. I got me a mirror.
And one more thing, we're doing some agritourism, and agritourism is where people do learn that there's a lot to do in this area, and there's also farms.
Right.
So combining those two is a big upward movement and what we really want to see more of. And I'm just so happy that the county, I had 25 county extension agents all over the state here about 2 weeks ago, and Georgia Grown was here about a week prior to that. And it was so glad to see that they approved of my garden, and I put in a 3-acre blueberry farm next door, so
yes,
it's going great.
Yes, and you're so talented at this because your family taught you this. She also, how I met her was through Gus Arundel and Springer Mountain Chicken, because her
Right.
husband works for Springer Mountain
Right.
Chicken, right? And we're going to go into the kitchen and we're going to be cooking some different things that she's gotten out of her garden, and she's also roasted us a Springer Mountain Chicken too today.
That's right.
Right.
It's a great pairing with tomato pie.
And that's my daughter's favorite, and she's making that today with tomatoes out of your own garden, right?
Right.
Right, and you're going to do several other things with us.
Right. Just some extra cooking tips, other things that you can do with your fresh tomatoes, herbs, and it really makes a big difference.
Let me tell you how important this is and how wonderful this is. When you don't have any money, you can just walk up to your garden, get your food, and don't have to worry. Isn't that right?
That's right.
Yes, and that's wonderful, isn't it?
And I love it.
I
love
know.
it.
And it's good for us.
I'm
And
a
you get your
farm-to-table
vitamin
girl.
D3 by being out here, right?
We're getting it
That's
today.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So good to be with you.
Thanks so much. Let's go in and have some tomato pie. How about that?
Let's go make some.
Thanks, y'all. Welcome back, y'all. We just came out of the garden and we're in Abby J's kitchen here in Georgia, and she's got all these wonderful things that she's going to cook. The only thing I did today was, Abby, I was up at 3 making bread for you before I came over here. So it's my whole wheat bread.
Thank you for coming again.
Yeah,
We
I love it.
really love your shows, Mary Beth, and it's all about farm to table. So
Yes.
let's get started.
Yes. Now you were going to show me a tomato thing. Tell us about this.
These tomatoes were picked out of my garden. And the first thing you do, the first thing I'm going to do today is prepare a tomato pie. And tomato pie, this tomato pie is one of my fly fishermen's favorites.
Really?
They love to come to eat this because you can pair it with pork, Springer Mountain Chicken, which is my favorite. But it's real simple to do, and I'll get started. First of all, you get a paring knife and you want to core it. This end out, you get most of the yellow out, and then what you'll do is take this knife here and you'll start cutting slices. You'll get this piece right here that goes there.
Now you're a hand slicing cutter, aren't you? My mother-in-law was, but I have to lay it on a cutting board.
No, this to me is the easiest way to do it because you know, you want your slices to be about that thick right there.
Okay.
And then we'll do another one.
I
And
want to tell you something I've noticed on the green pepper I picked out in the garden and now on your tomatoes. Y'all, they are shiny. It's so pretty. I mean, they just really are. And you haven't waxed them or done anything to
I
them. It's
just
fresh
washed
out of the
them.
garden. Just washed them. They're the prettiest tomatoes.
these tomatoes, we were so fortunate this year because our harvest is on a slope, our crop is, and the rain just falls right off.
And watered them
and it's
good.
just abundant, just like our fish are. I mean, it's been so much rain that, you know, a lot of folks lost their crops, and we were just blessed to have a lot of veggies. And I've been very, very busy, so busy canning, and I took a lot of my veggies, speaking of farm to table, to a couple of restaurants in Atlanta, the Optimus and 246. And they just love to get the farm to table vegetables because it puts them ahead of the other restaurants. If I had to choose a restaurant
Me too.
to eat at, I would
I
rather
do.
go to a place
That
where I
has
know
fresh
they
stuff.
do everything fresh.
We have a restaurant like that in our town called Sidetrack, and it's packed all the time. It's a family doing it. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Because they do fresh stuff.
Yeah, the next step of this is to sprinkle a little bit of salt, and this provides the tomatoes from getting soggy. Now, if you like a real juicy tomato pie, then don't add the salt. But I like mine to be a little bit tight to where it's not just falling all over the place.
What kind of salt are you using? Sea salt?
This is sea salt.
Good.
Okay, so I'm going to put this over here. Now we're going to take this cutting board here. We're going to get some herbs.
And you grow these yourself out in your garden too, right?
Yeah, the herbs, 246, Drew Boleen asked me to do several different things for him, and one of the things was the herbs. And they take about 10 pounds at a time. Wow. And what we'll do, I use 2 different types of basil, the regular basil and then the cinnamon basil. And what we want to do is we want to just chop it up into little pieces.
And y'all, it smells wonderful in here. I wish I had this for my kitchen so that it would smell so good.
It's real nice to go out,
yes.
and you can do patio herbs.
And after you cut it, smell it now. Oh my goodness, after you cut it fresh, it doesn't smell like that. Even in the grocery store, that's wonderful.
We grow tarragon, rosemary, but I had so much basil, and a lot of people do the ensalada caprese, and I'm gonna demonstrate that shortly. But in the meantime, we're gonna take this and put this aside, and now we want to take. Let's see. Let's get this over here. We'll put that right in with the onions I've already diced, but I'm going to dice another onion. You want to take the onion.
How much onion do you do? A half of a Vidalia?
A half of a Vidalia normally is enough, and what you want to do is cut and just peel back like this. If you don't cut the root of the onion is where, if you cut that off, then you're going to be crying.
I didn't know that. That's great.
So,
and I knew it was an Vidalia without even asking her, because we are in Georgia, y'all, and Vidalias are definitely Georgia onions, and they're my favorite.
So this is the proper way to cut a slice an onion. You want to just go, the closer you are together with this, the smaller the dice, Mary Beth. And then you want to go like this. You go back, slice. And it doesn't need to be that precise.
And
but
you don't cut the end, because that'll keep
no,
it.
this
that's
right here
funny. It's
is
not bothering me.
Yeah, because
I did not know that.
we didn't cut the bottom
I love
off.
that, y'all. So it's worth it not having the bottom on it.
All right. So now what we're going to do is put this over here. Now we're going to take the pie. And what you want to do, this is an oven baked pie. I wrap the edges in Reynolds wrap. So anyway, when you do that, you don't burn the crust. You want to brown the bottom of it. And so what now I'm going to do is put the tomato in the bottom, and I'm going to proceed with
so this is
layering the pie.
Oh, great.
And then what you want to do is put a little bit of onion. This is your first tomato pie, right, Mary
Well,
Beth?
I've tasted them down at Edisto, where we go to the beach, and my daughter, it's her favorite. We get it from the vegetable stand down there. They have tomato pie. Somebody cooks on the island, and it's good. But do you put a lot of mayonnaise in yours?
I put 1 cup, and that's just to hold everything together. And what I'm doing right now is I'm alternating my ingredients.
Okay.
And what you want to do is you want to get all of this basil and onion together.
Okay.
And you want to build. You're just building this, layering it until you get to the very top.
Can you do a tomato pie without mayonnaise? What if you want to use plain yogurt?
You could use yogurt. You could use breadcrumbs, yogurt. It's just all a matter of choice. But my favorite mayonnaise is Duke's mayonnaise. And I just love Duke's mayonnaise.
I know.
It's so good. It's just been a staple in my cooking for years. So I don't think you'll go wrong with that. I do an herb mayonnaise.
Are you going to do that for us today?
I've got some I can demonstrate. I've already
Great,
made some and I can show you.
Great.
And so we take this again.
I've heard about that, and I wanted to try that.
Okay. And so
with the herbs, it's just like anything else you have with the grains and everything like that. Then it's fresh, so you're getting all the nutrients. When people talk to you about the nutrients in food, they are talking about it when it's fresh off the vine and you've just chopped it, or when you've ground it. That's what they're talking about. So the nutrition you get, if it's processed and in the store, it's already dead. So you have to get into the mindset, Abby, that a lot of the food in the grocery store is just dead food.
I just, when I cook every day fresh for my husband, he loves it, and you can't go wrong. And even if you if you want to preserve the, things that you grow in the garden, you can. I'm going to be doing a cooking school soon and teach canning and a lot of different things at the farmhouse.
And I'm excited about that. I'm going to come.
Okay, the last step here is you take this mayonnaise, the Duke's mayonnaise, you add some of the cheese. You want to stir this together. Spoon right here. I'll stir this together and get this going. But this mayonnaise has always been good. I think there's a lot of places that really believe in this. The Cook's Warehouse, they love using Duke's mayonnaise, and
I think it's because all of our families have used it for years and years.
right, right. And what you want to do is just take this and put it right on top of the tomato pie. And really, if you don't want to use as much, since my tomatoes were so big and they grew so big this year, you can use less mayonnaise. But what you want to do is spread this and kind of close the corners together here, the edges. Make sure it all comes together like this. And you know, there's a lot of movement. Georgia Grown, as I said, is really trying to get more local farmers in the area. Yeah. The farmers market here is going great. I like to participate in a lot of the farmers markets, and the one that really that I enjoyed this year was the State Farmers Market in Forest Park. And the ag commissioner was there, and he really has done a great job bringing in or bringing along people to get more involved in this movement. We're bound to see more and more good food on the market.
Right.
My last step here is to cover this with the 2 cheeses. This is I use mozzarella, which is good. It's a low fat. I get this at Ingles, and I also use the sharp cheddar, which gives it a really good taste.
Now, let me tell you about the cheese. If you have children that are bothered by preservatives and stuff, always grate your cheese, because the caking agent in the ones that are already grated could be causing your children's stomach aches. And you might think it's a dairy problem, and it's actually not a dairy problem, it's the caking. Now, Abby, I want to tell you something. That is beautiful.
There we go.
My verse today was Proverbs 31, verse 12, where it says, she does him good and not evil all the days of her life. Abby J, cooking farm to table, does him good and not evil all the days of his life, because it keeps him healthy. And you're doing a great job at that.
Thank
I'm
you.
so proud of you, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks. And thanks for having us here. We'll be back in a minute and ready to try this pie, because you've got one in the oven for us, don't you?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank
My daughter's
you.
going to be so excited. She loves tomato pie. Thanks, y'all. Welcome back. We're getting ready to try this whole meal we've got here that Abby has set up. We have my bread, my apple pie, and that's for the rest of it's for John, and with the whole wheat flour. And then we have this wonderful Springer Mountain chicken that you did with what?
The chipotle peach salsa. Abby J's.
Abby J salsa, the peach flavor. And we've been thinking about what we could do with that. That's a great idea. And then it's a whole chicken she baked, and you can see that right over there. And then we have the tomato pie. And now you're going to show us another salad, aren't you, Abby?
This is a very simple salad, one of my favorites. And all you need is 4 ingredients: red ripe tomatoes from the garden, fresh mozzarella, fresh basil, and some extra virgin olive oil from Laura Lynn. I get mine from Eagles. So what I did was I sliced the tomatoes, I sliced the mozzarella, the fresh mozzarella that is, and then what we do here is we place the fresh basil on top of it. And a lot of local restaurants really thrive on this salad because it is very, very fresh and good for it's good for you. You can't go wrong with a salad like this. So what I'm going to do now is take the olive oil. Let me take and get this open quickly. And you just kind of drizzle this over this like so. Really pretty. And then you add a little salt and pepper. And there you have it.
And what's that tomatoes in that you mixed up in the bowl here?
This is something that I make. It's a tomato Vidalia onion dressing. And this is kind of another little additive sauce. It's fresh. So I'll take a spoon here and get just a little bit of this. And this just...
Oh, how pretty, Abby.
Is
that easy to make for people?
Oh, that's very easy. Good. It's just crushed tomatoes, olive oil.
And then now I need you to taste everything. And this is basil mayonnaise you made for me to take home, didn't you?
That's an herb mayonnaise, and I make my BLTs
With it.
and with you call that a California BLT. You can make a lot of herb mayonnaise. You can do a tarragon. My favorite is the basil.
I think a lot of these recipes are going to be on my website, and I think we better try it because we're about ready out of time, and I can't wait to eat. I've been waiting all this time for y'all to try stuff. Let me see how this tastes. And in the break, I tried the chicken. It's excellent, y'all. I don't like real hot, spicy stuff, and her peach was real good on that. Let's try the tomato pie. Oh, that's great. I really like that. Now, I want to try one of these caprese salads, so can I just...
You just pick
one up? Thank
You
you.
can go right under here and take it like this.
And just do that. Let me try this.
So many
I have
things.
seen this in magazines, but I have never tried it.
It's it's really an Italian appetizer. They use it over there for an appetizer, as well as a lot of restaurants use it for an entree here.
Oh, really?
If they're watching
I've seen it in a
their
lot of
calories.
cooking magazines, and I've never tried it. Now, where do you get this mozzarella from?
I got this from Ingles. They have a really nice cheese selection now.
Do they know you're going to try my pie? I think it's about time for us to go. Would you try my pie? That's made with whole wheat flour.
Great.
I made that this morning. Is that all right?
That is good.
Thanks.
Yum.
We're great cooks, aren't we, Abby? But it's easy when you have fresh food from the garden, isn't it?
It makes everything
It makes
better.
us all look like good ones. But we need to say goodbye, Abby. Thanks so much for
Enjoyed it,
inviting
Mary
me
Beth.
over.
Well, you'll have to come back for.
I would love to.
This fall, maybe you can come in for our canning class.
I would love that.
We'll
Thanks.
preserve some of this.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, y'all. Bye-bye.